Very good morning, dear friends. Welcome back to English session. In today's session, we are going to discuss about lesson number 2 in non-detail. The name of the lesson is Earthquake by M.S. Mahadevan. Friends, after hearing the word earthquake, what comes to your mind? I'm sure you start thinking about the devastating effects of the earthquake on the human life, right? And how it affects the entire living beings, right? Not only humans but also animals, the infrastructures, the roads, the rivers, everything, their channels, everything keeps changing. And the earthquake, Richter scale, it is measured in the Richter scale, right? So you know that it lasts only for few seconds, but it destroys a lot part or lot of properties damaged because of the earthquake. So friends, the present story is a narration, you can say it is a first person narration by the boy named Bridge, right, who is hardly 10 to 12 years old, sorry, 17 years old, and his family is living with his mother, his grandmother, and his brother Neelu, who is 10 years old, and sister who is barely 2 years old. Friends, this is a story when he loses his family in the earthquake, and only the 2 year sister lives even after 100 years. She is found in the debris under the soil, under the bricks, and she is saved. Only 2 years girl is saved, and just imagine how he is alive, because he had gone to another place called Pauri, P-A-U-R-Y. Pauri is a headquarter of Uttarakhand. And friends, the Molti village, M-O-L-T-H-I, Molti village, that where his family lived, and he stayed with one of the relatives because he had gone to buy the school books and maybe he was late, so he had stayed. See how the fortune or his fate, how lucky he was, because he was saved, and he was very sorry when he saw the dead bodies were cremated, but his sister was not found. So he insisted the army officers to help find his sister, and luckily when he goes there he finds her leg first, and then she is found after 100 years. She is still alive, she is still breathing, so she is taken to the hospital and she survives. So it's a very touchy story, and after the death of his family he is running a tea stall. So he is talking about, he is describing these all incidents to the person who has come to have tea in his tea stall. Let us see the story. It is in the first person narration. Are you a stranger to these parts, waiting for the bus to Badrinath? Perhaps you are a pilgrim or a visitor to the Valley of Flowers. Children, there you might have heard about Badrinath temple in Uttarakhand. Actually, recently in 2020 there was a wildfire, right? Forest fire, you can say, in the Badrinath, and it has already in the 2013 you have seen the flood in the Uttarakhand, how the temples and all, how the people had been rescued, how many people have lost their lives. So this Badrinath temple, or you can say the Uttarakhand, has always been suffering from the natural calamities like landslides, forest fire, floods, and earthquakes are very common to that place. So just imagine how the people are living there. So friends, it is in Uttarakhand, right? Badrinath temple is a very famous pilgrimage place. Pilgrim means the person who is undertaking the journey, a religious journey, you can say, for the sake of worshipping. Children, we are going for a journey with different purposes. We go for business trips, we have picnics, we have educational excursions. So in the same way, pilgrimage means going for a religious purpose, and pilgrim means one who goes for a religious purpose. We call that person a pilgrim. So he is asking, Bridge is asking the stranger, are you a visitor to the Valley of Flowers? Because it is a very famous place there. Anyway, whoever you are, come with me, wait at my tea shop. It is just past the bend in the road. He is talking to the stranger. He is asking him to go to his tea stop because he is a tea seller. He is running a small tea shop. As you can see, I am carrying this can of milk to the shop. In 10 minutes, I will have a fire going. And Sahab is calling him Sahib or Sahab. Sahab, just wait for a few minutes because let me burn the fire, let me burn my stove, and then within no time I'll give you the very hot and tasty tea, right? While you warm yourself, I'll prepare for you the best cup of tea in all Garhwal. He says that Garhwal is the name of the district in Uttarakhand, Garhwal, right? So I will serve you the best tea in this district. You will not find anywhere, isn't it? Then it will chase away the pinched blue look from your face. So if you are drinking the tea, it will be very easy for you, right? You will get refreshed. By the time I'll prepare tea for you, you get warm, right? And enjoy the tea that I will serve you. And then I told you that it is only the first person narration, so there will not be any type of dialogues of other people there, right? Here we are, right? Welcome to my humble roadside tea shop. The word humble shows that it's a very simple, it's a very, you can say, not too much reach. Make yourself comfortable on this wooden bench. It looks rickety, but it will hold your weight. It is looking like shaky. It is moving. The bench is moving because the boy is very poor. He cannot afford the rich chairs and tables for his customers. So the bench is the only place for the customers to sit. So he asked him to take seat there, and the bench will not make him fall down. So it will hold his weight. My name Sahib. I am called Breach. My name is Breach. I'm 17 years old. I started this tea shop 2 years ago. Means when he was 15 years old, probably he lost his family and he is now running a tea shop, right? Before that, I worked in a roadside dhaba outside Panipat. Panipat, you know that historic place in Haryana, right? Historical place Panipat. Battle of Panipat is very famous. You might have studied in the history, right? So friends, before running my own business, I was working in one of the dhaba outside. Dhaba means restaurant. You know that roadside restaurant is called as dhaba, right? The heat, the crowd, the pollution, it was all too much. I had saved most of my earnings, and there he worked a lot. There he earned a lot, and because of that he got a confidence that he must start his own shop, tea shop, right? I came, and with a little help I started this shop. By the grace of Badri Vishal. Badri Vishal means Badrinath temple, you might know. It's very famous temple at Uttarakhand, right? Badrinath, Badri Vishal. It provides me decent enough livelihood, and he says that by the grace of Badri, I'm earning a great deal. I'm earning a lot. Thanks God. Here your tea is ready, strong, sweet, flavored with cardamom. You know, this tea will definitely help you revive yourself, refresh yourself because it's strong, it's sweet, and it is flavored with cardamom. Enjoy it, Sahib, while I get on with my chores. Children, what do you mean by chores? Chores means the daily work. Write down the new words. Chores means daily works. Let me complete my daily works. By the time what you can do, you can enjoy your tea. What are the other works according to you? Maybe washing, cleaning, or maybe other customers are there. He has to attend other customers as well. This is my daily routine. At sunset, I will shut my shop and walk back the 3 miles to my dwelling on the hillside. Where is he staying? 3 miles means 1 mile is equal to approximately 1.5 kilometer. So just imagine 3 miles means 4.5 kilometer distance. Every day he walks to and fro. Both the times he is walking. So he is living on the hillside. So it is his daily routine. Early in the morning he comes there, and evening when sunset is there, when there is no light, he will shut his shop and he will go to his village. The name of my village. He's asking the question means, do you want to know my name of the village? It was my village. Why he says the word it was my village instead of it is my village? Because the word was tells that the village has been totally destroyed by the earthquake. The village of my ancestors, you know, children, in history you have studied my forefathers, the people who lived there in my village, forefathers. It is no more. Molthi is gone. What is the name of the place? Molthi. Molthi is one of the smallest villages in Garhwal districts of Uttarakhand. Am I right? Then, what happened to my village? Do you want to know what happened to my village? The boy is talking to a stranger. He is rather giving the information to the readers. It was 4 years ago. I told you, he was now 17 years, means he was barely 13 years old when the incident took place. 4 years ago, in the month of October, the night, the earth quaked. You know, earthquake. Quake word means shake. Earth is shaking. You know, there are vibrant movements in the earth. That earth is trembling, the earth is shaking, and it is very difficult to describe. Yes, tremors are common. Tremors means vibrations are very common in these parts, because earthquake is not a new thing for them. Maybe there are Richter scale may be small, 3, 4. If it goes more than 7, 8, you might have seen about Latur and all in Maharashtra, how the earthquakes were very devastating. They have destroyed a great part. These shows may seem eternal. Eternal means they are not, they are permanent, right? Eternal. The Himalayas may look solid, but the truth is deep down they are unstable. Actually, Himalayas are very strong. We see them very strong, but deep down there is a movement. They are unstable. Underground, what is earthquake? If you study the earthquake, you will come to know that in the crust of the earth there are some movements, there are some vibrations, right? Even in the water also. We call it tsunami. We who live here are accustomed to tremors. Accustomed means, this is a phrase, you can make a sentence. We are habitual of the tremors. Can you make a sentence? One sentence let me make. Accustomed. I am accustomed to walk 10 kilometers a day. Means I am habitual of walking 10 kilometers every day. You can write that. Okay. But what happened that night was more than that. Actually, we are accustomed to the tremors. The vibrations are not new things for us, but that night what happened is really a very strange, it is very heart-wrenching. It was a terrible earthquake. Why it was a terrible earthquake? Because it destroyed the houses, roads, rivers, whatever it came in its way. Its effects were felt as far away as Delhi and Lucknow. Why it was very devastating? Why it was very strong earthquake? Because its effects could be felt as long as Delhi and Lucknow, which is situated quite a far distance from Garhwal, Uttarakhand. But the effects were even felt in Delhi and Lucknow. Can you imagine the devastation at the heart of the earthquake? Devastation means, you can say, destruction, movements, vibrations. The epicenter means central main point, you can say. The epicenter was in a valley not far from here. There were 670 villages in the valley. How many villages were there in the valley? 670 villages in the valley. 602 were destroyed. My God. So 68 villages only are safe. And thanks God that the author in the sense that boy, narrator, I will use the word narrator. Narrator, who is the narrator? The Breach was not at Molthi. He was at Pauri. Which village he was there? Pauri. He had gone to purchase books. See, God wanted him to leave. So God sent him to Pauri. His rest of the family died except his 2-year-old sister. The earthquake lasted less than 5 minutes. Lasted means continued. Lasted means continued for less than 5 minutes. Right? Time enough to set these centuries old mountains crashing to reduce our villages to rubble, to snuff out hundreds of lives. Rubble means to kill, destroy. Write down the word rubble, right? And to snip out means same meaning. Sorry, rubble means fragments, and to snip out means to destroy, right? Now the villages have come to the fragments, pieces. The houses have come to the pieces. They have scattered here and there. The monuments have been scattered. The old, centuries old villages. It takes, lot of time. It takes centuries. You have studied in the history, civilizations. It takes centuries to build up the civilizations. But earthquake can destroy it within seconds. It was sheer chance that I was away that night. It was my great luck that I was not there. I had gone to Pauri. I told you, Pauri is one of the small villages in Garhwal district. I lived through a night. Sorry, I had been there at the Pauri. Okay, to buy my school books. I stayed the night at my uncle's house. Where did he stay? At his uncle's house. Remember this. We felt the tremors. They also experienced the tremors, but not as great as that happened in Molthi, where his family lived. Right? I had gone to Pauri to buy my school books. I stayed the night at my uncle's house. We felt the tremors. We ran out into the open. Why they came out? Because during earthquake, you know that we have to run out of the houses. Otherwise, there is a chances of dying by the collapses of the houses. Again and again, the tremors came. We spent the entire night outside. Pauri lived through the night. Molthi did not. Actually, there were tremors, but they were not great. They were only shaking the houses, but the houses did not fall down probably. And the entire night, he and his uncle spent on the road. Pauri lived anyway, but Molthi did not. Molthi means it's not a name of the person; it is a name of the village. Village of Bridge. For the living, the nightmare began at daybreak when the news trickled in the large-scale devastation. And early in the morning, he came to know that his own village has been destroyed. Now he is at Pauri, maybe some kilometers away from maybe at a long distance. So the news spread to him that his village had been destroyed, right? Daybreak means early in the morning. There were dozens of landslides, and because of the earthquake, the landslide means the mountains have fallen on the villages, sweeping the villages with them, destroying them, crushing them. Huge boulders thrown haphazardly across motorable tracks and roads. My God, boulders means stones. Children, just imagine the huge boulders means very huge stones have been thrown from the mountains. Haphazardly means randomly in any direction, very horribly, very chaotically. Motorable tracks and roads, they were sent on the roads, so it was very difficult for the rescue teams to go there because the roads were blocked, because all the stones have gathered, accumulated on the roads. Precious time was spent in blasting the rocks and clearing the way for army rescue teams. Children, it takes lot of time because you cannot pull the stones very easily because they may be very heavy, very huge, very massive. So it took lot of time for the army rescue teams to reach to the place. So if the help does not reach on time, people lose their lives. You have seen. It was all of 4 days before help arrived for Molthi. My God. Just imagine, children. It was all of 4 days. Just 4 days.